or construction to install windows and doors, to point at objects throughout the room. It is in no way, shape, or form used to do anything with a firearm. It is a piece of wood wedge to install doors or windows in construction. We will use it to point at different objects throughout the room. Welcome back, and as well, YouTube, nothing is for sale. Nothing is for sale. Nothing se vende, no se vende, no se vende. Nada. Nada se vende. Welcome, guys, back to Desert Armory and More. Matt says he's back.
I'm back. Welcome back, my friend. How are you doing over the past couple of seconds?
The rest will eventually come back. If they didn't get alert, they're going to have to go find my channel and click on it. Now there's 2 people in here at least. It shows 2. No thumbs up, though. Huh. Give it a thumbs up. Stick a thumb in it. As Kentucky Ballistic says, you got to do that when he had that artery messed up on his neck. Here shortly, the algorithms will take off again. Yes, sir. Si, senor. Excuse me. We'll see if they come back. Only you are here? Well, it shows 2, though. Anyone saying the famous 5-7, but the 5 is a 6 is a timeout. Yep. Do you have a Tech 9? Maggie, I don't. I do not have a Tech 9. This shows there's only 2 people in here, but there's 3. Funny old buzzards. Double tap the screen, guys. Appreciate you. Helps with the algorithms. The more we get, it only shows 1, but I bet you there's 2 or 3. Because there's always 1 behind for some reason. So don't start with it. There we go. Yep. 10 people in the chat. Thank you guys for coming back to Desert Armory and More. We do shorts of shooting, shorts of hiking, long formats of hiking, exploring caves, mines. We just went to Tombstone today, so if you want to see those lives, they're posted. Take a look at them. Young Fong, what's up? How are you today? 43 in the chat. Do you have an SMG? I do not. This one kind of looks like one, but it's not. What's up, Jordan Jones? How are you? Like and subscribe if you could. We're going to be doing a giveaway, and you have to be subscribed and notifications on so you'll know when we're having it. What's up, Landon? Landon Brown. How's it going, brother? Have you ever shot any of them? Have you ever shot anyone with one? I have not, Woozer. Thank God. That's funny. Let's see. We're back. Yep. You got a badass gun collection. Thank you. America. Yep. Do you have a double barrel? Yes, Maggie. I got 9 of them. They'll be out on Saturday. Jordan Jones. We have maybe 80. Yes, there is an AK-47. Sasha. Hello, Scott. How's it going? That revolver with the muzzle brake. What is that? Revolver with a muzzle brake? That is a 460 Smith & Wesson, waiters. It says 460 Magnum. Hey, Scott, welcome. Brain rot words like telereno and tonsador is the timeout as well. There you go. Sasha, how's it going? Spammers are also on timeout. Well, they keep the chat going, so I wouldn't delete them unless they're saying something. It's rude. They keep the chat going as well as the algorithms. Hand cannon right there. Yep. What's up, Frog? Sasha says, good. Great. How are you doing, Frog? A snack. We didn't have any snack out today. How do you have 9? One at a time. We buy one at a time. Guys, we got a little poll going up here. Sub to enter into a giveaway. We're doing a giveaway here soon. It's going to be a range bag. A range bag was the highest voted one between a cleaning kit, a range bag, or a backpack. I'm doing great, Sasha. What's your question, Taco? RJ Taco, what's that? Are they real? Yes. Do I have a Desert Eagle? No. Do I have a 50 BMG? No. Do I have a Glock? Yeah. You sub, thank you. Think we'll switch from bullets to laser weapons in the past 100 years? Probably, Dingle. AR-15, yes. That's a 5.56 Logan right there. Do you have a Beretta M9? I don't, Maggie. I have a Beretta 10 gauge. That's the only one I've got. You play clarinet. Nice. Can you shoot a gun? Not on a live, RJ Taco. Not on a live. You can on long format and shorts, but not on a live. How many pieces do you get for all of them? Nothing's for sale. Can I see the Glock? Sasha, sure. Mr. Formality. In the beginning, God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Amen, Mr. Formality. Do you have a musket? Onion, yes. That's a made in 1840. It's a Kentucky 40 BMG. No, I don't. Thought 5.57 or 5.56 were the same thing. 5.56 is 5.57. I don't think they make that. Be 223 is. Hello, I'm looking for Poland. What's up, Lazy? RJ Taco says he subscribed. Do you have a minigun? I don't. God wins this. Yes, he does, Mr. Formality. Glock with extended mags. I don't, Blaze. Those on the wall look like Western guns. A lot of them are. Tali Halads. What's up, Jad? What's the oldest gun you own? Unknown Fox, right there, from 1840s. Let me see M2 Browning. Onion, I don't got one. How many places did you go to get them all? I lived in 2 different states and stuff online, so. Glock 13, no such thing. Samuel says he subbed. Thank you, buddy. Do I have a 22? Yes, I have a whole bunch of 22s. Glock 19, no, I don't. I have a Glock 20. M1, I don't, Nari. Love your channel. Do you have a Car 98? Colton, this thing's pretty much a Car 98. Can I see your face? I could. AR-15, AR-16. No, I don't have an AR-16. How many guns you got? I don't know. Glock 69. Before I go, I have a question. What's your question? TRG Gaming, 80 to 100 maybe. P38. I don't have a P38. You have one. Nice. Have you gone to any gun shows of late? Not of late, I haven't. It's been a while. 1942. I have 2 guns from 1943. They're World War II guns. Sasha says they sub. Thank you. Bad words are also in timeout. Yep. Mini 14. I don't. Are you UNC? I am not, Taco. Danny says, well, you need them guns. I'm going to X-Con. I can't have a gun. Sorry about that. You can get a black powder or pellet gun, buddy, Mr. Daniel. A regular Glock. It's a Glock 20, so not quite a regular. Absolute amazing gun set. Thanks, Alex. Wi-Fi and cellular franchises can disassemble black powdered rifles of nice paperweights. Interesting, Jimmy. What's your favorite one? Science blocks. My favorite revolver is that one right there. It's a 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum. Didn't mean to put the P to the end of that. I figured not. Would you own a sniper or a more modern one? I mean, Mr. Formality, I have one right there. It's a 338 Lapua Ruger Precision. Do you have a 356? I have a 365 undercover right there. It's a macro 365. Love the content, man. 7. Thank you. CV38. Unknown. I do not. Do you have a 50 cal? Logan. I have a 500 Smith & Wesson, so that's a 50 cal. I don't have a Desert Eagle 58E or a 50 BMG. What's your most customized pistol and AR? Actually, they're not really customized. This one's got a red dot and a magnifier. And then my MP5 has just the stock on it right now. And my AK is not customized at all. Amazing gun set. Thanks. Glock 20s and 19s. I have a 20. Flintlock? No, that is a cap and ball, my friend. Do you have a 357? Sandra, yes. Right there's a 357 Magnum. It's Ruger. Ruger, it's the Blackhawk. A sub, but not for giveaways, since don't know anything about guns, but always love our constitutional America. Thank you, Super. Random. That is a traditional cap and ball muzzle loader. It's from 1840s. No RPGs, no Glock 19, Sasha. Actually, Scroll and Ballman was using electric ukulele. Interesting. Electric ukulele. Do you have World War II guns? Heather. That is a pre-World War II 1938. Behind it, let me get you off the stand, guys. Sorry. Behind it is a Smiley 303 British Lee Enfield, number 4 Mark 1. And then beside that, we have a Mosin Nagant from 43. It's an M38, 762 by 54R. And then we have a Cold War Norinco SKS, and then we have a Cold War Tuckeroff in there from 54. Yeah, muzzleloader already answered that one. RPG is illegal, dude, unless you have the right paperwork. I don't have a 50 BMG, buddy, but I do have a 500 Smith & Wesson. Random Steph, I already answered your question. I have a traditional muzzleloader staring at you in the face from 1840. I'm too young to buy something and my family's broke. Sorry, Blaze. What's your loadout? Nary, we're going to use for when bleep hits the fan. AK-47 right there. A 12-gauge shotgun, and one of my 9s. Most powerful for bolt actions, a 338 Lapua right there, Saul. Most powerful for revolvers is for my 500 Smith & Wesson revolver in the back right there. It's a BFR. For semi-automatics would be the 10 millimeter right there, and then I have 10 gauges. Do you have a Barrett sniper? I don't. Glory goes to God. Trust in God and Jesus, and He'll make it, my friend. Amen, Mr. Formality. I don't have any Tannerite, Kirk. We are able to get them here. Do you have a 36 Magnum? Never heard of it, Colton. Most expensive as it sits. That right there, the 338 Lapua as it sits, the Ruger Precision. Imagine a libertard seeing all this. Yeah, I know, right? I got a real German dagger, a real nice one. Nice, Danny. What's the strongest gun you have? My 10 gauge is Honey Bunny. Do you have a 1911? I do. It's in the safe. It's a 7-round mag and an 8, depending which ones I put in. Oscar, we have an AK-47 right there. Nice toys. No, they aren't. This is a great collection. Thank you. Cochinated. Indian Army gun, please. I don't have one. Drahant. However it's pronounced. Drishant. James Gooley, M1. Don't have any. Is that a HKSP or other brand? It's an MP5 clone. The MKE AP5 by Century Arms. But it does have MP5 HK internals. All the loadout is. Can I see the 50 cal? Let's see. Do I have that sitting up here? Let's see. That's a 454 Casull. Where's the 500? I don't know where it is. I thought I had it out. I don't think I have it out, buddy. I don't know where it is. I don't think I have it out, bud. Fortnite gun. Why would you do that? Nice gun. Thank you, Jason. Boyfriend loves Smith & Wesson 500. Nice. Is that a shotgun between the AR and AKS? Yes, that is a Sega 12 clone. I have an AJ-47. Interesting. AK-47's right there, buddy. When is the drawing? Smithy, I'm not sure yet. We still got to figure that day out. Aviation RPGs actually are legal if you have the right paperwork. What's the strongest gun you have? 10 gauges, 338 Lapua, and the 500 Magnum, or my 10 mil. And if you have a Barrett sniper for Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite. Thank you if you could. We can actually over here, but I don't have one. Nice guns, thanks. What's the best hunting weapon you would use, say is the best? Colton, I don't know. Depends what you're shooting for. If you're in bear country, grab yourself a 500 or a 460 or a 10 mil like that. But for like hunting deer, 30-30, 270, 308, 6.5 Creedmoor. Ram stuff, you're on timeout. Let's see here. Yeah, he kept going on about the same thing over and over again. When is the drawing? Kit Smitty, I don't know. Got RPG and I'm in the hood. There you go. Let's see. Show us the safe. If you want to see in the safe, you got to drop a super chat. US's AK when it get really bad. Can we see your face? Got to drop a super chat for that too, guys. If you want to see my face, or in the chat or the safe. There's my Glock, Mr. Jason. First shotgun anyone should buy. A Maverick 88. Does a Glock right there have an automatic switch? No. There's such thing as an AR-20. I'm not sure. Sorry for the background music. My roommate just turned some music on. Maybe someday you'll have more than a couple of guns. We got more than a couple of guns, Beretta. You're funny. Do you have a 44 Magnum? Ace Gerza. We do. It's that lever action right there. Just look at the mistake. You feel so American. Oh, yeah. David, I don't know what a 36 Magnum is. Say all your pew-pews, names in alphabetical order. I don't have a name for them. Sasha Bolt RPGs are legal, even in the hood. Stop strolling. Do you have a G17? I don't. Milik, we have a 20. Like and subscribe. Thanks, Matt. Coldman, we're not going to do that. Glock 17, no. Do you have a 22 revolver? That's a 22. That's a 22 mag. That's a 22 mag, and if I put that in, it'll be a 22 LR. Sophinas is high. I have an early 90s SB89 short barrel. Nice big. Coldman, we're not going to do that. Give me, bro. Nope. RPGs can't be legally owned. They can with the right paperwork. Can we say an armor-piercing explosive round? I don't have on Veritas. Bolt, no, you don't. Let's see. Do you have a Glock 9? No such thing. Norinco SKS. Carvey, yes. That is a Norinco. No M16s, Malin. That's an AR-15. Does a Glock have an automatic? No, it doesn't. I need some protection. On what mission are you with that many guns? I collect, and I shoot, and I hunt. Is there such a thing as a 45 Magnum? Yes, Logan, there was a 45 Magnum. It's kind of hard. I think it's called the 45 Autoloader or something like that. OMG, Noah says hi. Welcome back, buddy. Nice revolvers. Thanks, Prepper. CHD, that's not appropriate. Ban CHD. I don't even know which one that one is. CHD, where's is that? I banned one of them earlier, but I don't know if it's the same one. Let's see, you can't say that. What's the blue pistol? Jamison, that is a Canic Sketch. Benjamin, hi, buddy. Any Colt Police Positive 38 Special? No, this Colt is a 32 Smith & Wesson Police Positive. That one is a Police Positive 3220 Special. Both original condition from early 1900s. Yeah, I love the Sketch. It's just very cool. Do you have a 22 caliber? A whole bunch of them. You have an AK. Shylin or Sheen? How do you pronounce it? Yes, AK-47 right there. Right by the wall, looks like a World War II rifle and an AK-47 got fused together. That one is a pellet gun. Don't think there's such a thing as a 36 Magnum. I don't think so. Do you have a Glock drum with a beam? No, I don't. What's the giveaway? It's a range bag. I have an AR-15 with a drum mag. Nice. I have a drum mag from an SKS. That's for that. That's a drum. There's the SKS Norinco right there. Can you beat Doc Holliday in a couple twirl competition? Probably not, Beretta. Do you like the Bible, sir? Yes, sir, I do. I have a minigun. I don't. I'm a preacher, Mr. Formality. I preach. What do you think about the TGI Canada Smoke? I think it's pretty cool. If I had extra hanging around, I wouldn't mind getting it a friend. That's for that guy. Just wondering on your opinion on this. Should you ban automatic rifles only for law enforcement, which we use? Logan, if you go through the right paperwork, well, then it doesn't matter. It's totally legal. What's up, the gaming Raptor? Thank you for saying my name right. Nobody says it. Jamison Gully. No one know the one rich by the AK. That's an SKS Norinco. Right by it, I meant. Can I see the drum? Malik, sure. Lunatico? I am not a lunatic, Federal. You want to know my IG? It's right here. Relinquish. Right there. I don't know why you would want to relinquish rights, but what are your thoughts on God ending 7,000 men for no fault of their own because King David did a census? Is that moral or good? Verettas, I've always wondered. But God in his sovereignty and all-knowingness is the only one who knows the answer to that question, unfortunately. In the Old Testament, he was more of a God of judgment and justice, like instant. But in the New Testament, he's more of a God of love and mercy, and judgment comes afterwards at the judgment seat. I feel like you're 35 years old with no felons or serious charges. You should be able to have full auto. Sticky, I am 35. You're right. Can I see the drum? Sorry. When you preach, I'd love to hear you preach the gospel of Jesus. Yeah, I just preached last Sunday, actually. It was about bread and how Jesus is the bread of life for us and different statistics about bread. When's your birthday, buddy? Mine's in June of 1990. Do you have Spaz 12? I don't. That would be cool. Is that a snail mag? What it has is like little fingers in there that are kind of like U-shaped that the bullets sit in. One of my favorite guns, Jameson, is the TTI Canic Combat right there, which is a 9mm. Can you Venmo me money? Why would I Venmo you money? I'm still looking for a rare NNA mini revolver package in the Gambler Poker Edition. Come out over 10 years ago, very limited. That sounds pretty cool, Teal Colt. So by our standards, let's see here. We're having problems here. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. Heard bad thoughts of God or Jesus. Could I ever come to you for help? Mr. Formality, no problem, man. Trevor, yours is June 13th, 1995. Okay, mine's June 13th, 1990. So, yeah, we're pretty close. You're 30, I'm 35. Have you ever heard of Sportsman's Guide? I have. Do you have a sniper? Yes, right there. So by our standards, the Bible is not a good God. Also, God is unchanging, Old Testaments or New. By our standards, yes. By our own personal human rights, or whatever you want, our own thinking, yeah, we would think that God is not a good God, but because how he used to judge in the Old Testament, and even now, how he allows things to happen to the innocent. But God is all knowing, and he knows the whole picture of everything. That we're in the here and now. So it's like we don't understand the whole thing. So the name is saying we have relinquished too many rights. Yeah, that's interesting. Do you have a Spaz 12? No. A Midas gun? No. What do you want to offend? Defend you, but is it bearing arms? Do not say that guns should be used in tragedies. If they stop selling the ARs, then those tragedies will stop. No, it won't. The tragedies will still continue on if they stop ARs. Just look at UK. They banned guns. Now everybody's getting stabbed. Now they're trying to ban knives. Now then they'll use something else, a 2x4. Hey, a family. Right there's my sniper, 338 Lapua. Yours a 50. Nice, Jason. Can you write anything with guns? What you mean, buddy? Also, not to God, not Jesus, disavow or Sid won't badge your own people. In fact, they tell slaves to obey their masters, even the evil ones. Veretta does say that in the New Testament. You're right. Now, do I think that slavery is okay? I don't think then, if it was a Christian, it wasn't actually a slave. They probably were more of a servant that was paid. Do you have shotguns? Yes, I got 3 pumps in there, a semi-auto here, a bolt action there, a whole bunch of double barrels here, some more double barrels and single shots to about right here. Swords are the way. That'd be cool. Halen says, nice M1 Grand. Bye-bye, Canada. Do you know that? I don't have an M1 Grand. What's the giveaway? The giveaway is a range bag. Used to work there. It's a good little company. Do you have a Glock 9? No such thing. Do you have a RPG? I don't. Do you have any snipers? Right there, Malik. It's tricky. Mine is the 50. Python 686 or the 686. Joe Time. I would probably say the 686 because they have less timing issues than the Python, and plus they're not quite as shiny, so they're not as you're not as worried about messing it up. Maybe wouldn't mind having an RPG. That'd be cool. By our standards, we wouldn't judge God as good. Why is it that God worthy of worship? That's a good question. I would say because if you look over the Old Testament and the New, he's a holy God as well. And we need to have reverential fear for him, and honor him and obey him to the best of our abilities with his help. Can you shoot me for $1? No, I'm not going to do that. I don't know why you're saying that. Do you have a P506? No. Gold one got touched by Midas. What's your biggest gun? Actually, the 338 Lapua is my biggest. That thing weighs like 20 pounds. Thou shalt not kill is wrong. Thou shalt not murder is correct. Termiatello, that's correct. That is Old Testament, but at the same time, the New Testament said to something totally different. It talks about non-resistance, if you ever heard of that. You have a Javelin anti-tank missile. No, that's how it became gold. Do you have another sniper? Some people think if a gun has a scope, it's a sniper. Technically, it's not. But I do have a lot of guns that have scopes, so maybe. Bubba, nope, we don't do that. Worried about God, and I'm worried he'd convict me and send me to hell. Well, Mr. Formality, that's one of those things that can be discouraging, but if you are a saved person, you're walking in truth and faithful to him, that's just the devil just telling you that. Do you collect historical firearms or some? I don't have like specifically firearms that made history, but I have guns that are old. Are you an Orthodox Christian? No, I'm a Bible-believing Christian. Just a Christian, my friend. Just learned about it, and it seems more Christians here don't know what about it. I know what Orthodox Christian is, in a way. You mind having a 50 cal Deagle? I don't. Would I mind one? Probably. Well, in Leviticus 25:44, 46 slaves could possess one to their children for their property or slaves. Again, that is Old Testament. That's a massive collection. Thanks, Giggly, 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 Giggy. Nice airfoff. Yeah, yeah. Where do you buy bullets? Swap meets, pawn shops, online. Biggest gun and the loudest gun. So my loudest gun would probably be, and the heaviest kicking, is this 10 gauge 3.5-inch Magnum. It's the loudest and heaviest kicking. My biggest gun, though, as in weight, is the 338 Lapua. That right there is like 20 pounds. Morning, the Canic looks fantastic. What's up, Sir Blythe? Got the revolvers are out. Yes, it is, Bray. It's Wheel Gun Thursday. Wheel Gun Thursday. Thanks for that subscription. I can see the count going up. Whoa, them revolvers, though. Yeah. Revolvers are honorable in a dual sense. There you go. Joe the Bullet Store. Yeah, that. Would love a Steyr AUG. That would be nice, ping you. Russ Logan's games only got something. Whosoever believes in it should not perish, I have everlasting life. Amen, Logan. WSP today, man. God bless. See you, buddy. Maybe not leaving. No, this guy represents our Pentecostal responses, not the Orthodox stance at all. Yeah, I was raised like my parents were Assemblies of God, and then I was raised in a non-denominational church. What's the smallest gun? Jamison. It's actually in that case. It's a little single-shot 22. How heavy was the recoil on the sniper? About as much as a 12 gauge. Maggie? Scariest gun to shoot? It'd be that 500, Matt. I wear gloves. If you want to see me shoot it, look at my lives, guys. Or, sorry, my shorts. And long formats. I have a lot of these on there. Are super delayed. What are? Do you have a P90? It's super delayed because there's a lot of people in the live. And so it takes me a while to get to you. No P90s, Yosef. Worshipping God helps us. God does not need our worship. He doesn't, Joe. But in the garden, he used to have that closeness in the Garden of Eden, where they walked at the cool of the day. And once they sinned, they lost that. And Christ, God, wants to have that again with us. So that's why he wants to have a personal relationship with us. Not that he needs it, but he enjoys it and wants us to enjoy it with him, as well as this earth and heaven one day, eternal life. Canic Menace MC9. I don't. I have two Canics. I have a Meta SFX Sketch right there, and a TTI Canic Combat. P90s kind of suck. Well, if you can actually get a P90, they're full. They're full fun mode, as well as they're too short of a barrel. Pure shooting zombies, I'd like a double barrel semi-auto drum. That would be cool. A lot of my stuff for my bullets, Hagen family, are Hornady, or just for 22s is whatever brand I can find that's cheap. Same with 9. But a lot of my defense rounds or hunting would be Federal or some Remingtons, and then Hornadys. What is the gun beside it? Beside what? Do you have an AK-17? I got an AK-47 right there. Beside which, Malik? Gotta see what you're talking about. Not sure which one you're talking about. You might have to clarify that one, Malik. Let's see. I would never recommend MC9. Just bought one and jammed up by the box. Huh, that's weird. It's probably a problem with that one specifically, because in general, Canics are pretty good. Must be nice to get ammo online. Used to until the commie stopped it. You must be in Cali then. I used to live there. I know that enemy tries to tear me down, but sometimes I'm worried I'm not good enough for God or Jesus, and that's why I'm constantly worrying every day. Just a formality. I have had those before. That's where you just need to, in faith, trust God that what he says is true. There's 2 verses that talk about how that what God has started in you, he'll perform it until the day of his appearing. He told that to, I think Paul. It's chapter 1, verse 6 in one of Paul's letters. That God will perform it the day of his appearing. There's another one, too, that Jesus himself told Paul. He says, Satan desires to sift you as wheat, as like to stir you up and almost make you want to worry. But I have prayed for you. That's that personal touch that God said. Jesus said to Peter, but I have prayed for you. That personal touch. And that's one thing that's really nice. Why should it matter if that was the Old Testament? Jesus said he did not come to change the laws, not even get rid of them, but fulfill them. That is true. That is true, Bredis. Do you have a sniper rifle? Yeah, right there. What do you think about Glock discontinuing? I think it's crazy, Jamie. Can you show us your favorite revolver? Yes, Malik. It's right there. It's the 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum. The reason why the law was not done away with is because those without Christ are going to be judged under the law. That's true. And the law was our schoolmaster to tell us why we were in error. It was like a jump start to put us in the right mindset to seek for someone greater than the law and greater than ourselves. Can we see the smallest? Jamison, unfortunately not. I can't touch guns on lives. It's in there. Those are led by the Spirit are not on the law. Correct. 38 special. It's sticky. That can shoot 38 specials right there and 357 magnums. Take the 22, send it. Nothing's for sale. The bread is life in the light of the day. Yes, license is a violation. Not sure what you mean, Bray. That one looks like Joker's gun in the back of the revolvers. Do you have a sniper rifle? Mani, yes, right there. What's your biggest gun? That's my biggest, heaviest one right there, Mr. Bo. Let's see, I just came. What is even going on? Zach, today is Wheel Gun Thursday. We're doing subscriptions as well. Those who subscribe will be possibly put into a giveaway in a few days. We're giving away a range bag, but you have to be in the live so that way I can get your name. I have to know you're subbed, get your name put in the system, and all that good stuff. Nothing's airsoft, Arana. Those are dope. Thank you. That's my biggest bow right there, the 500 Smith & Wesson. My weirdest of my little revolvers are probably, I don't know, that 32 rimfire right there from late 1800s. How much was it to the clock? How much is it to the clock? I don't know what you mean, but there's a Glock right there. Nothing's for sale. Let's see. Sunshine Boy, off the watch, my crank. Watch me roll, crank. What in the world? Also, was Jesus really that good? He said to abandon your family. Yeah, he said, unless all forsake what they have, they cannot be my disciples or a Christian. The idea behind that, Veretus, is that just like with even in the Old Testament, here's a good definition for the Old Testament. Abraham, God wanted to see how much he loved him still, if he was still devoted to him. So much so, he said, you need to get rid of your son. And he was like, okay, if that's what you want me to do, I'll do it. And that was proof. And so it's kind of the same way, unless we're willing to sacrifice all and or give our 100% to Jesus, it might include, here in the U.S., we don't have to suffer that, but some other places you do. The persecution, you do have to lose land, father, mother, brother, possessions. Do you have a sniper rifle? I already mentioned that one. What's your biggest? I already mentioned that one. Hey, show me your favorite. Boop Poop. That's one of my favorites. The TTI Cannon Combat. We're right there. On layaway, a P30L with LEM trigger. Nice. I don't know much about those, Brent. Anyone have Snapchat? I don't. You have a Dragunov. Nice. For the breath of life, the light of the day. Thank you. Grant me strength to meet today's challengers with grace, clarity to see the good, and the wisdom that kindly me. Peace fill my heart. Thank you, Logan. Sniper Carter. Yeah, that's right there. Do you have a double barrel? Yes, I have a whole bunch of them right here. Sorry, guys, I actually skipped ahead. I don't know what else was there. What knives you got? Do you have a carbine? I do have some carbines. That is a carbine saddle ring from 1904. That is a carbine 33. This is a carbine World War II Mosin Nagant. Let's see. Any tactical cool guns? Tactical? These are probably tactical. Would it be within the realms of time Satan was so crafty that he'd have humanity worship the clearly evil character in the Bible? Satan ended 710 by God's command. God married. Interesting, Redis. Any single action armies? Yeehaw, that one pretty much is. It's a cavalry, I believe, or cattleman. Ever thought of revamping the room? Eventually, we'll see. Got anything with bird's head grip? I don't. The closest to it would be this little guy right here, but it's still not a bird's eye. What's up, Dutch? Welcome back. I know I had to skip over some of your guys', unfortunately. Got us some crazy tests asking Father the end of Son's life. I know, right? It is, but it was a form of trusting. JP, welcome, buddy. 7K train. We're getting there, buddy. Any high points? Matt, nope, we don't have any high points. Not that I wouldn't get one. One of these days I might get one. Which one is your loudest handgun? Pop, Boot Pop. That one. It's a 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum Research BFR. That back one right there. What do you think about registering guns and how it's a way for them to come get them for they want to? Mr. Bill, thankfully where I live in Arizona, we have private sales and it's not required. But I do not like it. I do not like they do that. What time is the Saturday Live going to be? JP, hopefully my normal time, 6 p.m. We'll see how it goes. I subscribe. Good content, bro. Thank you, Myron. Canada, and we don't carry guns. We carry knives. I know, so we own half of America, so we supply power. We supply America with the power. Ashton. Yeah, I know. I don't like that, how Canada is that way with their guns. What's your opinion on you Birdie Cowboy revolvers? So, I support the current something. That is a Cimarron made by you, Birdie, so I think they're pretty nice. Pablo. Wait, you're saying in Arizona with private sales, unless you go to a store, you don't have to have your information on federal background checks. Mr. Buy. Allegedly, yes. I'll just say that. It is not law to have to if you do private sales. Obviously, if you go to an actual store, yes. Favorite revolver, Dutch. It's my 460 Magnum, that big one on the right that you saw up there. What's your favorite verse of the Bible? When I was growing up, Logan, it was John 3:16. I'd say it still is. The other one is Psalms 31:15. It says, my times are in your hands. It's talking about God, how that my life is in God's hands. John 2:15-17. I'm not sure what that one is. Thank you for your feedback on the God questions. You're welcome, Veretta. I'm not a know-it-all. I want to learn myself. I want to try to be humble in it. It's the only way we can learn, by hearing each other out and talking, debating in a good way, a kind way, like Kirk. Loudest gun, probably my 500 Magnum right there in the back, or 10 gauge. AKs, I got one I support right there. It's a Kalashnikov. Got to run. Cheers. Cyberblight, thank you. My favorite verse is John 3:16. Yeah, that is one of my favorites still. The other one is let's see, something about mine is stayed on thee because he trusteth in thee. I forget what the rest of the verse is. I can't remember what the rest of it is. Titanium teeth implants. What for? Oh, like the guy in old James Bond? What handgun is the most dangerous or scariest? Bop Pop. I would say the person handling it is the one scary. Because they sit in them there themselves. They're perfectly fine unless you got a P320 that's loaded. Guns in themselves aren't dangerous. Just sitting there with nothing in them, they're not dangerous. It's the person behind them that's dangerous. Best deal you got. Pure would have been a shotgun from a yard sale for 50 buckaroo cheeseburgers. Does AK stand for automatic Kalashnikov? No, it stands for the guy's name. The A starts with, his first name started with an A, and his last name is Kalashnikov. Almost got stabbed today. Dude, not fun. Yeah, his name's Jaws. There we go. Have you seen the single shot shotgun with the tube side loader? JP, I haven't. Have they released whether Kirk was wearing a plate the time that he was? Brent, far as I know, he wasn't. Because when he was walking up, he didn't have any. For a full month of implants. Wow. Any Schofields? So Dutch, I have a couple that looks like Schofields. That one looks like a Schofield. That one looks like a Schofield. That one kind of does too. But they're Ivor Johnsons, and that one's Allens and Hopkins, I think. Matthew 27:52 is an interesting verse where zombies walk the land. What one's that one? I don't remember that one. Let's see. I do trust in God and Jesus, but you're saying that as long as we trust in God, everything will be okay. It's more than that. Because Mr. Formality, even there's a verse that talks about that even the demons in Satan know God and tremble. But they don't have that personal relationship that we can have with Christ, with God. They just don't have that. Thanks, Logan. Appreciate you sharing those. The Shane version of Schofield's. I'm not sure what that one is. I have an idea to cool the ocean. I turn cooling the Middle East. Applied to Shark Tank. What you putting on, buddy? Tomb broke open. The bodies of many holy people who died were raised to life. Oh, yes. You're right. You're right. He didn't. Forgot about that, Veritas. You are so right. And people started seeing him walking in the street again. People that just recently died and they're like, what? Got the shield. Mister, I don't have a shield. I have a bodyguard 2.0. I don't have any shields yet. Maybe eventually we'll get a shield. Let's see. I need to get something for my throat, guys. I ran out of what I was drinking. You're injured. That's not good. Guys, I'm going to put you back on the stand. We'll be right back. Let me go get something to drink, guys. I'm not neglecting you. I got to get something to drink. All right, we're back. I'm injured. What happened, buddy? Where's the Nerf gun? It's over there. I mean, that's close. 180, Mr. 180. Yeah, it's close to one. Yeah. Dutch, what's the plan? What happened to Tahiti? He came back? How many do you use versus how many are you collecting? Selmek, I probably use regularly maybe a quarter of them or a little more. It depends what season it is because sometimes hunting season you need different ones. By the way, is there a problem with nuclear power? I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Do you have to be present to win? Yes, Matt. You have to be in the live. Yippee! How many do you use? Okay, that one I said. So you're saying that trusting in God is more than that. Even demons are afraid of God. Correct. They are. You not only trust in him, but you walk in his footsteps. Like Paul said, follow me as I follow Christ. So the focus wasn't on him. He was saying you could use me as an example. So that's one good thing too. Plug yourself into other believers so you can encourage one another. That's one verse that says, not forsaking the assemblies of yourself until the coming of Christ. Favorite knife? Cool, the Middle East. Drop a brick on my foot working. Ouch. Bro, why are so beautiful, man? Let's see here. HVAC technicians. There you go. EPA certified. What did someone just say? Favorite knife? A Dutch. One of my favorite I own because it has a lot of sentimental value is this buck knife right here. A Micah? Micah hasn't been in here in forever. Same with A Sane. They pretty much aren't in here anymore. I don't know why. I remember crying for hours ago, begging for the holy help of God to help me. No, if he'd forgive me. Well, remember, Mr. Formality, there's a verse in Psalms that says, so far has he removed our transgressions as far as the east is from the west. And if you think of that, east never meets west. It just continues going. Like, if you keep going east, it just keeps going east. If you keep going west, it keeps going west. It gives the idea that, and then it says he remembers them no more. So just trust in that when you do ask forgiveness, he doesn't remember it anymore. Sure, we can. It doesn't mean we won't remember it or the regret from it. It's called the law of sowing and reaping. Just like if you put your hand over a hot stove, you're going to get burnt. It's the same idea when you do something wrong, there's consequences. Just like you speak bad about someone, you might get punched. There's consequences. I miss Javier and Hosea. I remember Javier. It's midnight here in Canada. Okay. Real. Yeah, they're real. All equatorial countries make it a paradise. What you mean, buddy? Let's see. Not just Middle East, but in India. There we go. Yeah, I got the rat. What rat? Pray for me to get into the Shark Tank. I just seek God's forgiveness. That's all I want in my life. Nothing else. And also, Mr. Formality, God is not an author of confusion. He is an author of... He's a God of order. There's a verse that talks about that he's not an author of confusion. It's in 1 John, I think, somewhere. Or is it James? I can't remember. I think it's 1 John somewhere. No, it's bought. It's 10. What's up, Dutch? We don't mess the rat, though. What's your heritage? My heritage, as in my lineage, I am German. Grenwald is my last name. Grenwald. Unknown. That's actually a 500 Smith & Wesson, not a 470. Or sorry, a 4570. It's a BFR 500. And if I have to get up in 2 hours for work and then I have school. There you go. You have work, then school? Probably college, or something like that. Yeah, that's a 500 Smith & Wesson. It looks just like the 4570 BFR. They also have that in 444 Marlin, 3030. I think they have it in like 4 or 5 calibers, maybe more. High school. Welcome back, Unknown. I think you were here another time. Still not as large as my mom. Yeah, my mom's even bigger than that, and she's small. My bad if you covered that. 14-year-old Cod God. This is a 357 Magnum right here. Right there. It's a Taurus. I mean, not a Taurus. A Ruger Blackhawk new model. Just got here. Oh, no worries, buddy. No worries. This one on this side is a 460, the real big one. 460 Magnum. That's my favorite revolver, the 460. I shoot that fairly often. I need to get a die for it, though, to reload it myself. Or maybe I got one now. I might have. I don't have any lead for it, though. I need to get some lead. It's like the actual metal. Have a good work ethic for a 17-year-old. Good for you, Austin. Good. That's the way it should be. That is the way the world isn't. Because we're raising all these little young squirts that are glued to their phones. You teach them that men need to suppress their feelings and become little girls and all this other dumb stuff. And then the girls need to become guys. And yeah. Action speaks louder than words. Yep, they do. Yep. And so with all that happening, it's messing up the family unit. And then the families aren't teaching their children basic skills. So then no wonder the world's going crazy, right? To the hell in the handbasket. Bruh, I'm glued to my phone because of your stream. Well, that's a little bit different, Dutch. That's a little different. I'm thinking like glued to your phone for like video games and like game consoles and stuff. There might be a place for that. I'm not saying it's all wrong. Kangaroo Squall versus Desert Armory. Hey, what's up? Roads I've driven. How's it going? Depends. A koala, are they pretty vicious? I don't know. I know kangaroos can be, but I appreciate a young, hard-working dude. Me too, Sticky. Cool. I play COD. Yeah, a lot of people do on here. People ask me if I play that, excuse me, that or Red Dead Redemption 1 or 2. I'm feeling better, but I'm a little weighted heavy in my face still. So I'm not sure if I'll go back to work tomorrow or not. We'll see. My asthma, too, is bugging me a little bit. 460, how much is that ammo produced before? 460 isn't produced often either. The 44 mag is produced commonly placed, though. 460, the main brand that I get is the Hornady Custom. That's the one I get all the time, pretty much. HSM makes it as well, and so does Buffalo Bore, but they're expensive. So does Underwood, but they're expensive as well, more than the Custom. 454, I do have a few of those because the 460 can shoot 454 Casull, 45 Colt, and 460. You're a lukewarm Christian, and I just want to help to read my Bible more. I have never had the urge to do so. So all I want is urge to read the Bible. It is hard sometimes for Melly. There's sometimes I don't feel like picking up my Bible either. And I'm a guy who spreads God's word and preaches to people. That's how it is sometimes. Real life, that's where the rubber meets the road. You don't feel like it, but you keep doing it. And then before you know it, it's not as hard. What has helped me, Mr. Formality, is if I keep a journal of my Bible verses I'm reading. Like say if I'm reading, starting in 1 John chapter 1, verse 1. Write in a little journal, the date on one corner, and the verses I read, and what I got out of it that week, or that day. What I got out of those verses. It just makes it more fulfilling, more, how'd you say, exciting, I guess you could say, to read God's Word because you can actually feel yourself getting into it. Thanks, Roadstorms. I only have a few hours a day to watch YouTube. Got to play Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 1. Creative people need time to reflect. I'm an atheist. I would love to talk to you a lot so I could help get more urges to read my Bible. Mr. Formality, I do have Instagram, if you have that. I do have Facebook Messenger too. So, I mean, if you go on my Facebook, you'll find me underneath my name, which is Jerome Grunwald. I don't have that on there, my Facebook, but I have IG on there, Discord, Cash App, Venmo, and then yeah, my Facebook Messenger is my name, Jerome Grunwald. What happened here? Come on by. We can talk biblical history together. Sounds good. You here in Arizona? I'm in southern Arizona, buddy. I have Facebook Messenger, but how do I spell your name? You got something to write it down? There's my name right there. Mr. Formality. It's Jerome. Jerome. There you go. Jerome. You hear my donkeys braying out there. Get it? Yeah, you'll find me on Facebook there. That's right. You should watch Pirates of the Caribbean. I have. It's been a while. I don't watch a lot of movies, but that was when I was watching some movies that I probably shouldn't have when I was younger. Because I grew up watching black and white old westerns and stuff, but we didn't do movies growing up. After a while, we just quit. It's one of those things that a lot of movies have stuff that's pretty loose and lewd, and you're putting that into your eyes, in your mind, and thinking of things that aren't pure, like in Philippians 4. Philippians somewhere. Sailing is peaceful. There you go. Since I've become a Christian, I've been struggling with the idea that I may have to use a firearm one day. Pray that it never comes to that. I hope God finds in him to forgive me if I should do that. Yeah, I've wondered the same thing, I've known. Because there's the verses that talk about non-resistance, not going to war, and when someone steals your cloak, you give them their coat also. But I think God also has given in us an instinct, if we see someone suffering, to help. Or if someone breaks into our house and is hurting one of our loved ones. God gave us instincts to do something. And that's where I feel like that God will give us the right instinct at that moment what to do. By the way, do you have settings on Facebook that says follow, or could I actually add you to Facebook? Formality, I'm not sure. Have to go to bed now. Bye. See you tomorrow. Thanks, Dutch. See you, buddy. Also, my mom said I could gift you $1. Sounds good, Dutch. You could either do Venmo, Cash App, or on here, if you do it a super chat, what happens is YouTube will take probably 20 cents of that dollar. Unfortunately, that's just what they do. So, like, yeah, no matter what amount that you put on there, it's just a pain, yeah. I don't know what the hell, but super stickers, how that works. Or super gifts. Yeah, Mr. Formal, I'm not 100% sure. See you, Dutch. By the way, your heist plane sucks. Heist plans? What do you mean? By the way, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? I'm 17 to clarify, and I was baptized. Hey, welcome to Desert Armory and More. There's my face reveal. How's it going, guys? I am 35 years old, by the way. 35. I got a beard that's really curly. Got wavy hair. Yes, sir. Should Sharon Law be banned? Shuri? What's that? Yeah, I'm from the U.S. I'm from Southern Arizona. Shuri Law. What in the world's Shuri Law, Mr. Sticky? I don't know what that is. Clarify. It's a joke about Red Dead Redemption, which is who his character is based on. Oh, okay. Yeah, see. Some people say different stuff like that. They're like, oh, it's a joke from this game, or it's a joke from that game. I'm like, sorry, I don't get it. I don't know it. Character, okay. Yeah, I don't do video games or movies. I'm just not sure what to do that will bring me closer to God and Jesus. Well, one is, yeah, reading his word and trying to be excited about it, for one. Obviously, asking for help. And like I said, too, finding people that you can plug yourself into that you can encourage one another, because it talks about that in the Bible, too. Takes a little more than believing, but that is a start. The belief is a start. Faith and belief in him, which is harder and easier said than done, as they say. God has forsaken gingers. I'm not a ginger. People think I'm a ginger, but I'm not. It's funny. Like, people say I have reddish hair. That is sort of true in a way. The way the lighting is in here, it gives the little reddish tint I do have shine through. Even though, like, when I was little, I had bleach blonde hair, and then it went to more of a blonde and then a gray blonde. And now that I'm getting a little older, it has almost a really light red tint to it. And a couple grays in here, and one here, and a couple in my beard. Being 35, it's starting to show some of it too. So I've been through a lot too. I've been through a lot of hardships. God was always there for me, even though sometimes it didn't feel like it. False, you truly just believe it's miraculous. You have no idea. I wish you could feel the way I felt. Let's see. Well, there's actions though. Don't forget the actions. You do have to. By their fruits you'll know if they're my disciples. That's what Jesus said. So it's not only belief. Your fruits also. Jesus said that. He said, "By their fruits you should know." I just don't know how to feel excited about reading my Bible. I've cried and had mental breakdowns on my occasions. God for help, and I'm worried he left me. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Remember that verse as well, my friend. Let's see. Yeah, repent and continue to do his word. Correct, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that continue to do his word is the fruits. What's in our heart, out of the heart the mouth speaketh. That's an Old Testament verse in Proverbs, is it? I forget. And so, yeah, what's inside, good or bad fruit, will show out eventually, is what the verse is saying. Like, love your neighbor. Right, yep. Yeah. Love your neighbor as yourself. Would you want to hurt yourself? No. Would you want to treat yourself bad? No. So then you want to treat others the same way. Excuse me. A little tight. A little tight. I don't have any of my asthma medicine in here. And I'll have to close the live down here shortly. Mr. Formality, were you able to find my messenger? Before I close down here. I'll be closing down here shortly. Oh, excuse me. Getting tired too. What, it's almost 9. That's a little after 9. 9:11 is the time. The chat freeze, guys. Let me see. I'll be right back. No, it didn't. I thought maybe it did. Oh, there we go. My mom says, "Oh, you're a good kid with a good heart, but with what I've done in the past, I don't know if forgive me past. Frankly, I don't bear forgiveness my past." Formality. Just think of other people in the Bible that did things that were bad. Think of Rahab the harlot in the Old Testament. She is in Hebrews when they talk about those of faith. And then think of what Paul did. He persecuted the Christians, and he's in heaven. The man on the cross that was a thief, while he was on the cross, he said, "Remember me when you go into thy kingdom," or "Remember me when you be in paradise," or something like that. And you hear of other stories of people that did dramatically wrong stuff, and do they struggle with it? I'm sure they do. I know I do with the things I've done in the past. More than faith and belief, it requires following his ways. Yes. And staying from sin. Yeah, but God will always love regardless, even if he does punish. Correct. It's a love punishment, just like with a child when they're doing wrong. When you give them a punishment, it's because you love them. I can also try finding you on Messenger. Yeah, there you go. You look like Prince Harry. A lot of people say that, Jones. I have had a lot of people say that. Another one they say is Will Ferrell, the actor. A younger one, though. What's your goal? Informalities. Is it fear? Let's see, here's a big scene. My uncle is finding his way back to Jesus. Good, Dutch. It is Boeing. What do you mean, Boeing? Boeing, the airplane company? Why am I donkey's brain a whole bunch? I wonder what they're up to. Never mind, Prince. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I had customers in California when I lived there that would call me Prince Harry. Two of them did. One specifically all the time would say, hey Harry, or hey Prince Harry, can you do this? Look at that. Well, my donkeys are really going at it. Oh, I thought that was the donkeys. I heard that high pitch a little bit. I was in town, but I didn't get him. I couldn't find him either. Did you pick any up? You said Judy has one? Oh. Yeah, I don't know where the one broke and the other one I have no idea what it is. Alright, what did I miss? You're involved in a spiritual situation where a lot of neighbors want to insist on terminate. St. Thomas, King David, harlot. There's a lot that he can forgive, and he is a just judge, always judging the individual and accounting their circumstances. Yeah, we are judged by our actions, not by our fathers, not by our uncles. Each individual person needs to make the choice. God doesn't have grandchildren. I don't know if you ever heard of that one. God never has grandchildren. He has children. You need hacking devices. I don't. What do you mean, buddy? Let's see here. We don't want to do that, Dutch. Well, guys, I am going to close the live down. I appreciate you all showing up. And did you get my name, Mr. Formality? Were you able to at least get my name written down? So, Mr. Formality, what ends up happening, how should I say this? God does forgive when we have our shortcomings and our failures. But what he doesn't forgive is if we know right and we rebel and choose not to try to do what's right. So Paul talks about, should we continue in sin that grace may abound? No. We walk by faith in victory, and when we have failures, we have an advocate with the Father to forgive us. But if we are a continual sinning, we become a sinner, and that's different than our misgivings and our, how would you say, slip-ups once in a while when we fail because we're human, and God knows we are, but we don't use that as an excuse to say, oh, God's going to forgive me, it's fine. That's crucifying Christ afresh and saying, pretty much like, oh, I can sin because I have grace. Grace is there. No, that's not what grace is for. God's grace and forgiveness is for when we are walking by faith and by his precepts, and we do something that we know we shouldn't. The little failures we do because we're human. I don't know if that makes sense. That's been a good stream, though. Yes, guys, I gotta go. Mr. Formality, did you write my name down? That way you can find me, or take a picture, screenshot, or something. Because I don't want to leave without you having that. That way, if you want to chat on Messenger, were you able to write that down or something before I leave? Appreciate the subscriptions, by the way, guys. And yeah, it's been good. It's been good conversation. My battery's about to die too, 15%. And my tablet is 24. It looks like I got a message on my tablet. Who's it from? Some random person. I have no idea who that is. They're bogus people. Trying to get info from me. Yeah, Mick Formali, were you able to get that before I hang up the live here? I don't want to get that hung up before. Good night, man. I can write it down. Okay, there you go. Does your AK say made in Yugoslavia or Siberia? Siberia. What's up, Sarah? We're just about to shut off the chat. Unfortunately, you're a little slow. So, worldwide, my AK-47 is a Kalashnikov USA. I bought it like 2-3 years ago. It's a Kalashnikov USA. And that's an SKS Norinco. Amen, Riker. We were just talking about that. We were just talking about all that. I was here earlier, you were popping. Yeah, in the beginning of the lives, I'd say for the first 20 minutes, it's pretty good. And then it just dwindles down. Like, we only have 11 people. It went down to 9 or 6 a little bit ago. Then usually after an hour, you start it back up again, because that's how the algorithms are right now. They're pretty bad. But anyways. Appreciate you coming in earlier, Serafina. By the way, shout out to Serafina. She has a YouTube channel where she writes her own music and her own songs. So if you guys want to figure that out. Anyways, guys, we are closing down the live for the night. We hope to see you tomorrow, Lord willing, 6 p.m. Arizona time. And we're going to do a giveaway soon. And you got to be subscribed and turn your notifications on so you can be in the chat. You have to be in the chat. And we're going to probably put maybe 80 to 100 people on the wheel. We'll see how many we can get in the chat to do that. And the giveaway is a range bag. A range bag is the giveaway. And you have to be in the U.S. Because I can't ship overseas. Appreciate y'all coming by to Desert Armory and More. Thank you all. And we do shorts of all sorts of stuff. Shooting, mine exploring, hiking, hunting. We do long format of some of that stuff too. Geo, I'm sorry. We're just closing down the live. God bless. Have a great night. Thank you. Same to you, Worldwide. Geo, today was lever action. I mean, not lever actions. It's revolvers. Wheel Gun Thursday. Anyways, we are closing down the live. Appreciate you all. And when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Instead, trust God in times of uncertainties. Ask Him for help, and He will shine light on your path. For through Jesus is the only way, He is the only truth, and through Him is life eternal. Thank you all. You have a blessed day, blessed night, blessed rest of your life. Till next time, folks. Desert Armory More out.